ReefDVMs coming at you with the greenhouse fan installation. It's pretty easy project really. It just took a little bit of wiring skill. So I bought one of these fans online. This one has kind of like a poly shutter on the front of it, and then like a fan cage on the back side with a nice sealed motor on it. Kind of have to do your own wiring on this particular kit, at least as far as thermostat goes. It does come with a thermostat, but it's not wired together. And of course, you know how the directions are. Use a licensed electrician, and I think that's wonderful to do. But I wanted to try it myself, so looked into this a little bit. Didn't look too hard. It's got some wiring specs there on the sticker. This motor is kind of multi-purpose. It can do 120 to 240, so got everything unboxed and kind of headed off to the store to get some supplies so I could wire this up. The thermostat it came with is one of these Johnson thermostats. It's like 40 to 110 it uses for degrees that you can set it between. And again, it's kind of made to be hardwired in. There's no plug-in for it. So I had to get some other supplies to kind of put it together. As far as the motor goes, the directions aren't really specific, but there is a little sticker here on the side of the machine that kind of tells you the wiring, and you've got a bunch of different wires inside in case, like I said, you want to run it on 240. I'm running it on a 20 amp, 120 volt system, so I'm going to be using only some of these wires, not all of them, obviously, and we'll get this little guy wired up. So I got myself about a 3-foot cord, plug end, so I can plug the thermostat in, and then I got myself some UV 14-2 wire so we could hook up the motor. And then I got myself a couple of these NEMA waterproof plugs so I can keep everything pretty sealed up. I'm going to stick that through to run the cabling in. Greenhouse is somewhat of a damp location, folks. There's just a lot of humidity, and there's sometimes water that does get in it, and of course you're watering plants. Wiring it up isn't too hard. Again, I'm using the 110 volt diagram there where line 1 is purple, and then my hot that goes into that, and then the would be the yellow and white go into my common. My ground coming in will screw to a set screw in the back, and I just cap the red and black because I'm not using it because that's for 240. I know there's a little green screw in the back. I don't know if you can see it. It's for the copper. But I got everything in, got it all sealed up, and then just got to put the cap on it here to tighten the rubber gasket on it. And then the wire will essentially be as waterproof as it's going to be going inside the unit. I got to put the little door back on it, and pretty much the fan is wired up. So we're in good shape there. Then I'm basically going to take this wire and run it into the thermostat along with that black wire, and we should be all set. Getting the thermostat wired up, I guess the only challenge is honestly, folks, you don't want to touch the thermostat temperature sensor wires, but you want to use these couple settings on the top plus the ground screw, and there's just not a lot of room in these things. The little black cord coming in, obviously has a hot and a common, and I'm interrupting the hot to the top, and then I'm running off the bottom there terminal into the fan. So that's how the thermostat opens. This thermostat can be used for heating or cooling depending upon which settings you use, but it's just tight to wire. That's all I can say. And then I put those same NEMA plugs on the thermostat too to kind of seal it up, make it waterproof, and then out to the greenhouse we go. Our greenhouse has this 8mm polycarbonate wall. So we're going to punch a couple holes in this that we measured out so that we can attach it to the metal framing. We're going to cut ourselves a 16 1/4 by 16 1/4 opening in the poly to fit the 16-inch fan. And then we're going to stick it in, basically bolt it up, go to the outside and use some nice white silicone and silicone it in place. And then we'll hang the thermostat, and really we should be up and running. It should be ready to go. So that's at least the game plan, and as you can see, I'm going to start cutting and get this thing hung up. I found the best way to cut the poly, folks, for us was a small hacksaw blade. Utility knife would work too, but I didn't want to make an accidental slip and cut the hole too big. The Monticello greenhouse has this aluminum channel which you can put these little nuts in and then turn them about 90 degrees, and then you can put a cap on them that threads down like a cap nut, and that worked perfect for mounting this fan in place. This being a 16-inch fan, I think it moves about 1,300 cubic feet per minute. 8x12 greenhouse, that'll be enough to actually pull the doors shut, so to speak, when they're closed. Set the thermostat roughly about 4 feet off the ground. Plan on setting it about 85 degrees, and we'll see how it does. So here it is, all wired up. It looks nice, folks. Our daughter here is just going to turn it so it goes on. You can see it open those louvers. Everything looks good. Total install time, about an hour to wire up, about an hour to install. One night for the silicone to set up. Here's the outside view, how it looks on the outside. And there she turns on. Thank you for watching, folks. Please like or subscribe and show support for the channel and videos like this, and we'll keep putting out videos like this. Thank you, folks.